The KZN Future 50 with Pavlo Phitidis. Inspiring KZN's business future.
Good morning, Pablo.
Good morning. Good morning. Are you guys well?
We are well.
Amazing.
Which business are we going to be featuring today, and why did you pick them?
Okay, so listen, please don't hold it against me, because it's not a business for vegans or vegetarians, and in certain instances, it's not a business for non-pork eaters. What it is, however, is a 30-year-old established meat supplier who takes everything from farm to plate. It is a business that needs to be focused on because food security and the employment around the food industry is enormous.
So, Pavlo, what makes Vryheid Meatmasters special enough to be on the KZN Future 50?
It's very easy for us to simply go to a restaurant or a hotel or into a shop and you buy your product off the shelf. But it's really interesting if you're interested in how things are brought about, understanding the process of agriculture. They own a farm. After having farmed, for example, pork and other varieties of animals for different types of meat, they built an abattoir. After the abattoir, you then debone the carcass, you then process the carcass, and then you provide that in retail packaged varieties, whether it be fresh meat or packaged meat. And the reason I think it's so important is we need to be very aware of what we eat and how we eat and where it comes from. But equally, as a country, food security is increasingly in focus. For example, across Europe, you see these very, very violent strikes from farmers in various parts of European agriculture because the farms are so heavily subsidized. The benefit we have in South Africa is we have extensive open space and we have fairly good climate to support our own food security. In COVID, we saw with all the geopolitical shifts and barriers to trade that were erected either because of COVID or because of political shifts, there were compromised supply lines of food. We need to lock in our own food supply, and this business is sourced in the earth of KZN. It's taken 30 years to evolve and develop to where it is, and it is just poised for growth as a massive job employer and providing further food security right across the country.
All right, so Pablo, where will or could Vryheid Meatmasters be in 5 years?
You know, Darren, there's a real science to fresh produce, and specifically in this case, meat. When you take an animal to an abattoir, you result with a carcass, and what you then do with that carcass determines whether you can build a profitable business or sustainable business or not. One of the best ways to make sure that you can improve the shelf life of meat is to debone it. If you debone the carcass, it means that you can cut the meat and you can freeze it and you can preserve it longer. It opens up massive export markets out of KZN into the other provinces. You can also then add more value to it. So, for example, if you built a smokehouse or if you bought in and developed various marinades, you can create pre-packed meat products or meat meals per se. All of this adds more value to the process that farms who are really always on the edge of being either very rich or very poor, but mostly in the middle, it helps sustain the life of that farm and it helps sustain the life of that business. So we're in a situation here where the next steps would be to obviously get more customers, wholesalers, restaurants, hotels, consumers through butcheries, retailers. We're sitting in a province that has the biggest product incubator in the whole of South Africa called the SPAR Group. So many of our previous ECR Future 50 businesses had their first deals done in the SPAR Group. So we need to open up those, and then we need to open up new provinces because it employs 300 people at this point in time. I think we can get it to another 1,000 people within a year. We get these elements of that business model right.
So, Pavlo, speaking about sustainability, how can KZN support Vryheid Meatmasters?
Yeah. Well, buy local. You know, they have a wonderful stamp on their product called VMM. Vryheid Meatmasters, but it's also verified Meatmasters. And Carmen, we are coming to a time where certain people celebrate an occasion on the 25th of December called Christmas. And what's Christmas without a good ham? So if you're going to be buying your Christmas ham, wherever you're buying your meat product from, have a look for the VMM stamp and know that when you're buying a VMM product, not only are you buying an ethically sourced meat product, but you're buying local. And buying local means supporting local, and we know what supporting local means. It creates prosperity for all. VMM, ham for Christmas.
So if you want to get involved with KZN Future 50, by the way, in any way, just go to ecr.co.za and there you can find also the information on all of the companies that have been featured.